anywhere we go, we run into a trend. And every kind of revolution that someone comes up with is just another trend. But the political and economic philosophy of black nationalism, the economic philosophy of black nationalism shows people the importance of setting up these little stores and developing them and expanding them into larger operations. Walmart didn't start out big like they are today. They started out with a dime store and expanding and expanding and expanding until today they're all over the country and all over the world and they get some of everybody's money. Now, this Berkshire and General Motors, the same way it started out like it is. It started out just a little rat race type operation. And it expanded until today is where it is right now. And you and I have to make a stop. And the best place to start is right in the community where we live. But don't scare the Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheep or no white anything else. The police the same way. They can still club upside your head. And then turn around and accuse you of attacking me. Police brutality against the Negro. Follow the same pattern. They got you. Find your mouth. And then take to the court and charge you with a charge. Kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court? Has nothing on his side, but then what the white man choosing to give it? Our brothers and sisters, we have to really stop to this. We'll never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim, and then the criminal who attacked the victim accused the victim of attacking him. This is American justice. This is American democracy. And those of you who are familiar with know that in America, democracy is fictitious. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me.
These are essential parts of any society. Think about it. Police stations, schools, hospitals, businesses like Walmart and Trader Joe's are all core parts of a community. In a sense, they impose structure on how individuals behave. For example, if all the laws that exist in our community disappeared, would I still have a normal day? Probably not. People would be speeding down the street, looting my neighborhood coffee shop, and perhaps a stranger would be sleeping on my living room couch. All the things that I'm used to would be completely disrupted. Maybe a more reasonable example is, let's say all the schools had a new rule of no classes on Fridays. Then parents would have to figure out childcare for that day. Institutions and their rules definitively guide what we do.
But he has to pay the workers, here we go, folks, less than the value added by the workers when they work. Or to use the technical term economists like, he has to rip the workers off. He has to steal from them. The condition of your employment is that you produce more by your labor than you get paid. Welcome to the capitalist system. That's how it works.
All power to the people, all power to the people. Chairman Africa, New African Black Panther Party, and this is the first week of our political education course. All right, everybody that's new here, welcome, welcome. I usually start promptly 7:30, so we're gonna get it shaking right away. Where we at here? What we got going on here? Welcome to the Bobby Hutton Political Education course. Each week, students will be assigned reading and videos to study and will convene once a week to discuss the material, interpret and break down the core concept, questions and answers, and to prepare for next week's study materials. Remember that taking notes can be real beneficial if you're audio one, and don't be afraid to ask for help. We are all in this together. Yes, we are. That's why we're in the political education class. You know, there's no point in doing anything and organizing if we don't know why we're here. I mean, we're all doing this together. We're all in a team together. So there's nothing like, there's no question that's dumb. If you have a question, if you want to say something, always ask. Each week, you are encouraged to bring the following: quotes from the material, questions you have, your interpretation of the material, core concept, revolutionary spirit. The first duty of a revolutionary is to be educated. To be a Panther, we must understand our history, our political line, strategies to overthrow our oppressors. Upon completion of the political education program, graduates will become members of the UPM, receive recognition, and be encouraged to begin organizing in their local community. Comrades, our study this week will focus on Pantherism, unitary conduct, and the enemy. This is a quote from George Jackson. If you're new here, this is your first time, you don't know who George Jackson is. Yo, I'm telling you now, what's the day? Today's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. By Monday, you should try to get the book Blood in My Eye by George Jackson. I'm not even gonna tell you about this cat, but after you start digging into him, trying to find out about who he is, you're gonna see how it really was. But this is a quote from him: settle your quarrel, come together, understand the reality of our situation, understand that fascism is already here. You know how they've been talking about fascism is coming. This was in the 70s when he wrote this, I think 60s, late 60s. But anyway, you know how to say fascism, like Trump is bringing fascism, and he's telling you in the 60s that fascism is already here. That people are already dying who could be saved. People are already dying that could be saved. And this morning I saw on social media somebody was forced to death outside. We could have saved that person. There's no need for anybody to be outside freezing. That generations to be saved, that generations more will die or live poor butchered half lives if you fail to act. Do what must be done. Discover your humanity and love in revolution. Pass on the torch. Join us. Give up your life for the people. Doing this work, you're really giving up your life for what you believe in. You're giving up your life for the people. That's why we're here. You don't get paid. You don't get rich. But if we do this together, if we do this how it's supposed to be done, then we're all going to have fulfilled life. We're never going to be homeless. You're never going to be alone. You're never going to be destitute, because together it's impossible for anybody to stop us. And that's not me just saying it to be saying it. This ain't no rah, rah, rah. But how you going to feel if we all together? If we all pulling our resources together, working together, getting businesses together, sustaining ourselves together? How are you going to feel? Right now, you're going through the world with whatever you got, whatever protection you got, whoever you got helping you, standing alongside you. Just imagine having a whole party behind you. How are you going to fare? So we're not doing this to get rich, but in helping the people and being one with the people, you have no choice to gain power. Not just being rich, but power. Who will save us? We will save ourselves. To save ourselves requires getting together by searching out those elements displayed in actual practice, revolutionary proletarian consciousness. Now let me stop there. He said, to save ourselves requires getting together by searching out those elements, like people out there that believe the same thing we believe, displaying, like they got to show it in actual practice, like they actually got to be doing it. Revolutionary proletarian consciousness. In other words, I'm trying to say how to break down revolutionary proletarian consciousness. Proletarian is us, the people at the bottom, people working day to day trying to survive out here. That's what a proletarian is. And revolutionary is a whole new way of doing things, a whole new way of life. I mean, a whole new way of surviving, of existing. That's what revolution means. Change. It's not the same. And it's not like going to go vote. Like, that's not changing nothing. Revolutionary proletarian consciousness. So not only that they know that they're proletarian, but they're conscious, like they're conscious of it. I mean, so let me go back and read it again. Elements displaying in actual practice. Revolutionary proletarian consciousness, not celebrities, not artists, not academics, not the wealthy, not the rich, none of those people. Us. This is what we're fighting for. We have never had power. Oh, look at the cap. I done hit the thing. Made the camera go back for that. I got it. Think I'm good. Hey, the people have never had power. Never in the history of the world. Not in Africa, nowhere. Even when you go back to Africa, in those societies, they had kings, queens. Those with the power, those at the top, the elites, always control the society, no matter where you have been in the history of the world. That's why pantheism is different. Pantheism is saying putting power in the hands of the people. I mean, so like, if you know anybody that say the people ever had power, bring them. Let them.
Well, hold on, I got something to say right now.
Go ahead, say so.
This love, bro.
All power to the people, love. What's up?
So you saying that before slavery, white people were still controlling shit? I don't.
No. Like before, like let's say before slavery, before they took black people from Africa, you had other elites. You had
We were sold.
huh?
We were sold. You know, they sold us to the white people.
I predict, but like, not but all right. So check it, right? So like, where you at? You in North Love?
Yeah, this crap. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
So you in North, right? So right now, do you have the ability to sell anybody?
Of course not. Of course
No.
not.
Wait, walking this down.
Mm-hmm.
So who has the ability in North to be able to sell our homes, to sell people?
Wait, to sell what?
To sell our home. To sell our home.
If I wanted to be a real estate agent, I could be a real estate agent.
No. I'm not talking about doing it legitimately. I'm talking about the sell, to take out
the freedom to just do it without.
Who is that? Who are those people?
But look, that's a part of my question, because my whole question was, are you saying, because I do believe that we was in control first. We are the first people that lived on this planet, you know? Like us Africans. Africa is the motherland for a reason, you feel me? I don't think that they controlled it before slavery. That's a new perspective for me.
No. Let's pause it right there. No, what we doing here, we have the political education class. These are great questions and great conversations to have. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so when we were in Africa, what I'm trying to say is, when you say they sold us, Africans didn't sell other Africans. The kings, the queens, the people that were in power, that control the villages, that control the people.
Yeah, tribal. We very tribal.
No, but remember, who are the people I'm talking about? The people in power. Because the history of the world.
So who was in power before slavery? It was a white people saying it was white people.
No, we had black people. We had black people in power. It was black in Africa. It was black people that were the kings and queens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Africa we were ruled by other Africans. Like that's how it worked. But it was still a class system. You had the kings. You had all these people. And you had the people in the bottom that worked just like today.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, they believe that if you was born a peasant back then, if you was born a peasant, you was a part of that peasant. There was no rising to better like how we try to perceive it now.
By and large,
if you get a lot of money, then we're on a different level with classism and everything like that.
Yeah, it's the same thing. No, it's the same thing. So back then, before even the white man came over there to do whatever they did, they already had a class system over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a class system. And what I'm saying is us, you and I, the people at the bottom. Because like we wasn't born with silver spoons. We wasn't born king and queen. We never had power. They always say, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I mean, that's true probably to the majority, but there is some of us who are descendants of those kings and queens. You know, the kings and queens had children of royalty. That's the thing now that everybody thinks that we was all. I don't like that. This is why I can understand where you're coming from, because everybody trying to make it look like now that when they say kings and queens, we was all kings and queens. We wasn't all kings and queens. There was still kings, queens, you know, there was peasants, and as we just spoke about, you feel me? It wasn't just all of us was all royalty.
Nah, everybody
we controlled what is being controlled by right now. We was the government. We stepped by out, and we was more spiritual back then. We understood the urban. We got a lot of lost knowledge that they took from us was probably the greatest thing that led them to keep doing what they did to get to this point. Was them taking our knowledge from ourselves. That's what caused that confusion. You feel me?
No, you're right. No, you're 100% correct. I mean, word up. But who has? I'm gonna carry on. Who have shown? But look. Let me stop for a second. Everybody that's here. I mean, today's the first day. It's gonna grow. More and more people gonna come in. I want you to get people to understand. I want them to have conversations like this. Mm-hmm. We need to have conversations like this when we're talking about this. Not me just reading through slides. All power to the people. But remain uncommitted.
though not due to moral flaws that contradict revolutionary path and morality. Pantheism is the key to unity. All right, this video, right? Most of us don't understand what institutions are. The building blocks of society, how you maintain a society. Because as Panthers, we believe our duty is to build institutions, our own institutions, not to allow their institutions. What do I mean by their institutions? Their schools, to educate our children. So if you want to educate, if we want to educate our children, we want to liberate ourselves, we must build our own schools. We can pull our resources together and build our own schools. That's the purpose of being here. This video is going to explain what institutions are.
Institutions are essential parts of any society. Think about it. Police stations, schools, hospitals, businesses like Walmart and Trader Joe's are all core parts of a community. In a sense, they impose structure on how individuals behave. For example, if all the laws that exist in our community disappeared, would I still have a normal day? Probably not. People would be speeding down the street, leaving the neighborhood coffee shop, and perhaps a stranger would be sleeping on my living room couch. All the things that I'm used to would be completely disrupted. Maybe a more reasonable example is, let's say all the schools had a new rule of no classes on Fridays. Then parents would have to figure out childcare for that day. Institutions and their rules definitively guide what we do. You may be thinking that you don't have a kid and maybe you don't need childcare services. But in general, individuals are reliant on the institutions in their community. But is the reverse true? Do institutions need individuals? In general, they need lots of folks to contribute to allow them to function. But they don't typically need any one random individual. So there's a bit of an imbalance between institutions and individuals, if that makes sense. While they need individuals and are created by groups of individuals, they will continue even after the individual is gone. The concept of institution.
So when you hear them say institutional memory, when they hear them say institutional memory, that's what they're talking about. That's what the philosophers, the writers, whoever book you're reading, when they say we don't have institutional memory, they don't, as a people, every single person doesn't know what happened in the 60s, what we went through, don't know what happened through the slave trade, don't understand what happened in Africa before we became slaves, we don't understand none of this because we have no institutions that's educating us and teaching us to remember these things. That's what these schools are here for. Everybody here know who freed the slaves, who they say freed the slaves. If I ask that question, if I walk outside right now and I'm like, yo, who freed the slaves? Even though none of these Negroes or black folks or Spanish people, anybody out here was around 200 years ago, they're going to tell you Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Because since they've been going to school since kindergarten, preschool, they've been brainwashing them, telling them Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. So they know this. Go ahead.
No, I was just, I had to agree to that.
If we want all power to the people. If we want to change that dynamic, we have to build our own institution. I mean, like, to me, that's an easy thing to understand. I mean, I'm gonna play the video.
May seem like a daunting idea, but treating them as just a form of filling a need. Institutions meet the needs of society by filling expected roles and behaviors. For example, in order for society to continue, it needs people year after year after year. The family institution makes sure that there will be people to carry on the next generation.
Let me pause it there again. Because like when we talk about when people talk about the church, the family, they talk about all these ideas that the church instilled in people. Because you gotta understand, the church was the first means of socialization that they used on these shores to socialize people, to make them behave and think the way they wanted to think. So when you think about church and they say like, why they against gay marriage? Because they, like for the capitalists, for them to be able to stay alive, for them to be able to profit, they needed to maintain the father and the mother, that whole family system to produce workers generation after generation after generation. And that's basically what the church was here to do, to continue having people reproduce generation after generation after generation. So those that own the corporations, that own everything, can continue to use that workforce. So that's why they by and large against like gay marriage, LGBTQ, all these whatever ideas. And even when you get in America, like when you marry, the way they do the tax system, I mean, it rewards people that are married, that are coupled, that have children. All of that is for a reason. It is not, it didn't just happen organically. These are things that are strategically put in the community to control the population.
You know, society needs a way to keep people healthy. So you have the medical institution. And society even needs a way to encourage innovation and progress. So you have universities. There are two views of institutions, a conservative view and a progressive view. The conservative view sees institutions as being natural, positive byproducts of human nature.
In sociology, they call it conflict theory, right? Where they say progressive. That'll be conflict theory. And over here with the status quo, this is the status quo right here. What those in power want you to believe, conservative, to conserve what already is. That's what that basically is. But in sociology, I have a degree in sociology. In sociology, the study of how societies are formed and maintained. So in sociology, the way that we think as pastors will be called conflict theory, which is what they call progressive. And over here, conservative, that's the status quo, the people in power, like the Republicans, well, Democrats too now.
For example, the institution of hospitals forms naturally from the activities of humans and naturally led.
My bad. See, let me bring it back a little bit because I want you to hear what they're saying about the conservative.
Naturally from the activities of humans. For example, the institution of hospitals forms naturally from the activities of humans.
How far back enough? My bad, y'all.
There are two views of institutions, a conservative view and a progressive view. The conservative view sees institutions as being natural, positive byproducts of human nature. For example, the institution of hospitals forms naturally from the activities of humans and naturally benefits them.
So what they're saying is all these institutions we have, like the banks, like the hospitals, everything, all the schools, all these institutions just pop up. They just form naturally. The people just produce these institutions. They're not governed by politicians. They're not governed by people that's trying to oppress the masses of the people. These institutions just popped up. That's what the conservatives believe in their theory, their philosophy.
The progressive view takes the standpoint that institutions are artificial creations that need to be redesigned if they are to be helpful to humanity. So perhaps you can see businesses as potentially harming society if they aren't reined in.
Now you hear that? You hear the conflict? You hear the progressive side? These institutions are made by men. If we don't control them, if we don't rein them in, they're going to abuse people. Now, like to me, if I'm sitting there and you asking me, which one of these people is telling the truth? I know the banks didn't just pop up out of nowhere. I understand that, and I'm not going with that. I'm going with the other side, the progressive side, where it's saying this institution was created by men, and we need to design them or make them help people, not exploit them. So I'll be going with the progressive side.
Now, unfortunately, institution is one of those words that has a very different meaning to sociologists than it does to the average person. We average people might think of just a business or a corporation when you hear the word institution.
Sure.
A sociologist, on the other hand,
Talk about
social structures when they hear the word institution. They think of governments, families, hospitals, schools, the legal system, religion, as well as businesses. Each of those parts of society continues on without regard to any individual. Governments continue even after the people within them turn over. Families continue from one generation to the next. Laws continue on after the people who wrote them are long dead and buried. Hospitals, schools, businesses all continue past the time span of any individual and are not dependent on any one individual either.
Yeah, they're not dependent on any one individual. But I'm gonna tell you this though. I think they said in the beginning, without the people, these institutions fail to exist. If the people, like these people that you see right here on the screen, these people that you see here on the screen, let me see where you had all them people up there. They had all them people. There's a whole bunch of people up there. Where is it at? Where is it at? Right here. right here. Yo, without all these people here, these institutions are done. If these people organize themselves and they say we're not going to these institutions, yo, we're not going to the police no more. Yo, we're not going to their schools no more. Yo, we're not going to their hospitals no more. We're not going to their universities no more. And whatever locality that you're in, whatever town that you're in, if the people are organized and they say we're not going to West Side High School, we're not going to University High School, because I mean, no, we're not going to Weekway, we're not going to Shabazz, you know what we're going to do? We're going to build our own high schools. You know, these schools are dead. Those people that work there can't get paid no more because there's nobody there. Our children, because when they say all power to the people, that's what they mean. The power is in the people. When the people understand we no longer need to go to these institutions no more, they will die. You don't need to go to the police station to shoot it up, to go try to take anybody, drag people out, to go to war with them. You just stop calling them.
I believe in that. I believe in that wholeheartedly. I got a question though.
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
So you know that there's like there's at least 5. I'm gonna say at least because I'm gonna say it's 5 to 10 that I saw personally. There's like 5 to like 8 movements that people are trying to boycott right now. Walmart, Target, all the major corporations right now, they're trying to boycott that during these next before summer even comes. Before these next couple, you know, feel me? They got dates put, which I don't fully agree with how they their strategy and shit, but I understand where they're trying to go. But you know, but they just have some locations that's some I plan on going. I'm definitely going to some of them.
All right, so check this out, right? So let's say this one, right? This box over here with the white. Let's say this is Target over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this other box over here, this is Costco, right?
Mm-hmm.
White people, billionaires, imperialists, own Costco. White people, black people, Spanish people, whatever, it doesn't matter. Billionaires, millionaires own Target. So if you boycott Target and you tell everybody to go to Costco.
No, we boycott Costco too.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about at the same time. Everything, you let everything go for their rent, electricity, everything. You let everything go for 2, 3 days, even a week. And they will lose something. And one day they're gonna lose at least $1 billion.
Yes.
One day, but you gotta let it go for every industry. So a good week, 7 days, that's gonna do the job. I think that we can at least get to the point to where we can negotiate. We gotta deprive them of their shit. Them niggas they had too much power for too long, bro. They had so much power, they going crazy off of it. There's nothing we can say to them. We have to do.
All power to the people. But where we're at as Panthers.
I'm mute myself.
No. You come back. What you mean you gonna mute yourself? We talking, we learning. Yeah, but look, what we talking about, right? Like these people, these imperialists that we're talking about, we've been fighting them for hundreds of years. This is not new. Like you said earlier, these are the children of those people from generations prior. There's no negotiating with them. As Panthers, we don't negotiate with imperialists. At the time to negotiate with these people have come and gone. After Malcolm died, that's when the Black Panther Party was formed. And when the Black Panther Party was formed after they killed Malcolm, the Panthers said, this was the last straw. We have no reason to to negotiate with these people. This was in the 70s, in the late 60s. In 2025, they haven't done anything since then to now to show there's any reason to negotiate with them. But be that as it may, why stop going for a month? Why stop going for 7 days? As Panthers, we believe our only option is to build our own institutions. Let them keep their shit. Now, because I'm jumping the gun, because later on in the classes, you get to find out, like, after we build our institutions, they're going to come and try to start a war with us because they can no longer exploit our labor. So they cannot survive with that kind of arrangement. So they're going to come, it's always a war. They're going to come and try to take over, and we must defend ourselves. But as Panthers, where we at, there's no need to go to Target no more. If you and all of us in the Panther Party, if we build our own Target, our own department store. Why do we ever need to go back to Target? You did?
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
All power to the people. By consciously selecting the most advanced elements from among the black masses for membership in the NABPPC, the vanguard party of new African and African revolution, and a friend to all oppressed people, we are building a cadre of leadership capable of marshaling its energies and talents to move the party forward, even under tremendous pressure from righteous repression. Let me go back again. By consciously selecting the most advanced. So we have this class. This class is 13 weeks. Hey, yo, bro, we are making sure the people that we bring in understand what we're doing here. Yo, everybody can be a part of what we're doing. I mean, everybody, like, we can trust everybody. And everyone mentally and intellectually there to be able to do what we're doing. I mean, so like, we're not even playing games with this. Yo,
It shows us that you know what's one thing that made me actually come into this because that what made me actually trust, like I have trust in invested in because like I trust y'all, bro. I don't even know everybody right now, but I trust y'all, bro. For the simple fact that I see when
Bro,
you told me, Rick, when you told me, yo, do your research on the Black Panther, make sure you get a good understanding before I would even let you around, you know? Yeah. I don't know that you know somebody you take me serious. I'm at the Spires. I'm the security guard at the Spires. So I see you come. I just saw when the fruit
Wait
dropped
till he finish
it was
his
Saturday.
thing.
yeah.
So what do you do?
The fruit dropped right there. I saw it. You feel me?
You saw you expected
You're
that.
still gonna be talking if I minimize it?
Hey, you saw us bring the food?
Yes, bro. The cameras is right there, right in there. You feel me? Hey, but you feel me? That's when this is my security thought, but you know, because a lot of people don't want to work at the Spires, so
Nah, we good.
What's up?
It's good. But right here, when you say even under tremendous pressure from writers' repression. Hey, yo, when you doing this kind of work, when you out there like helping people, trying to put people in their homes, it's people on the other side that's kicking them out their home.
Oh, yeah.
Making it possible for them to buy food in the grocery, to buy gas, because they're profiting from it.
Mm-hmm.
With these people. This is not an easy life.
It's
not. Even though you're not trying to make enemies. Yo, I see somebody outside homeless. Yo, I'm trying to help them find somewhere to stay. I'm not trying to pick a fight with nobody, but the people that are responsible, that are supposed to protect that person, not let them be outside, they're gonna get upset with me. But it is what it is.
Hey, Megabyte, you had a question?
Comment earlier where we were talking about the need for institutions that we can. I don't want to derail where we're at right now unless you
No,
want
no,
me
no, no,
to.
no, no. Nah, we good, we good. Like, if you got a question, I don't want to. What's your question?
It wasn't a question, it was a comment. We had one of our fellows here, I missed your
Patience.
name, sorry. But you were talking about like boycotting these institutions, talking about boycotting both of them, getting everybody together to do that.
Uh-huh.
And I wanted to point out a problem with taking that at face value is, all right, in order to do that, we need to stockpile supplies to be able to make it through that period together, right? Where are we getting those supplies? From those same existing institutions. We make it our week into this, it starts falling apart. People out of desperation need to start going back to the stores. And all we're doing is delaying when we give those institutions our money without having the institutional infrastructure in place to switch to. We don't actually have recourse over those institutions being our only options. We need to build the institution that gives us the option to not utilize theirs. Until
Oh,
then, we've got no option.
all power to the people. Hey, yo, you 100% correct. And I want to tell everybody else, yo, if you have a question, if you don't agree with something, yo, we having a discussion here. Ain't nobody preaching to nobody here. You can always stop, like put your hand up or try to chime in. But to go back to what you just said, yo, during slavery time, everybody was on the plantation. Like, you don't just wake up one day and be like, yo, we free. We gonna revolt. Nah, it didn't work like that. It took years. People built underground railroad. People organized. Yo, when I'm talking about building institutions, yo, the first step of that is even knowing that you need to build institutions. Ain't nothing gonna happen overnight. Then we got to have these education classes where we understand why we building the institution. I mean, all of that takes time. It takes discipline. It takes work. There's no microwave here to just wake up tomorrow and everything changes. It took these people hundreds of years for them to have us in the state they have us now. So if you thinking in your mind like tomorrow you're gonna wake up, we're gonna have a revolution, we're gonna have Home Depot, we're gonna have all, you're jerking wreck. That's not what I'm talking about. Yo, this is going to take time. Yo, real talk, it may even take a lifetime to be able to get to organize the people in the community to understand that they need to do these things. Yo, most people don't even want to hear that. They like most people just want to go vote. They want to go march because this is all they know. So telling them like you have to walk away and separate from these institutions of white supremacy that have been colonizing our minds and poisoning our minds. Yo, it's like, yo, before this video started, I wanted to play the cave, the allegory of the cave, where everybody's tied up in the cave and they think like the cave is reality. But like somebody broke away and went outside and came back and told them, like, yo, we in a cave. This is not reality. And you know what they did to that person? They killed them. I mean, but these are the people that you're trying to speak to try to organize to understand. We can negotiate with these people. We cannot participate in their institutions. We must build our own. Did I answer your question there, Megabyte?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were in agreement with the need for institutions.
All power to the people.
And you know what's crazy?
Oh, that was
at the end of the day, I got faith in that. Like me, from just listening from my first session, we pulling up was last week, last Sunday, when we had that one thing when you said that it was gonna be the first. I know I wanted to catch this session. And I ain't gonna front, bro. I'm married. I'm 20, bro. I'm 27. I've been married for like 6 years, bro. I had my daughter at 20. I was married by the next year. You feel me? I never played with her. That's why I feel like this is the perfect thing that I'm doing because it's always what I always did since I was 15, 14, 13, and I always looked back up.
But I was gonna stop it anyway to ask anybody that had anything they wanted to add. Anybody got something they want to add real quick?
No, that sounds good to me. It's the legit shit.
Yo, who that I'm talking to?
Alexis.
How you doing, Alexis?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm standing. I'm about to get back to it.
Hey, Peace Chairman.
Yeah, man. Yo, Zoom kicked everybody out. All of you have to come back in, right?
Yeah, what's up? Somebody say something?
Peace Chairman, this brother Asa.
All power to the people. What's up?
Peace, brother. I just wanted to chime in on Chairman Africa for visual support. When he's saying organizing, we do see it happen all the time when we look at the man's union. Those union workers, if they feel like they're not doing no construction, they organize their people, all power to the people, and they boycott. And no construction work is happening. Ain't nothing going on until that union rep say, unless they fold and the people get what they want. And that's how the people has to be. And that's why I just want to give a visual example of what the chairman was saying about organizing and stopping on certain sides. I
Yo,
digress.
that's a great visual. That's a great visual. And since you said that, now think about those people. Like, let's say the communities that we live in. Most of the communities that we live in, I'm talking about poor people. And yo, people drive into our communities, our neighborhoods. They work in our schools, they work downtown, they work all these places, then they get in their cars and they go home. But remember, these people are in unions. When they have an issue with their job, they'll go outside. Like right now, the nurses are protesting in New York. They'll go outside and protest for their jobs. You see, but the people in those communities are not organized like those people that work in those unions. So when the teachers union go out there and organize to get higher pay, it's not for the people in that community. It's not for the poor people in those communities that they serve, and then they get in their cars and go to the suburbs. The problem is those people in the community, those poor people, have never organized themselves for them to seek what's best for them. And that's the problem I have with the unions. Because in most cases, the unions don't live in the communities in which they're protesting. And they're not protesting for the community. They're protesting for them to get a job. Yo, the head of the union, the teachers union, he told me this like 18 years ago. Yo, I went off on him. He was the head of the teachers union. They out there talking about stuff. We don't want charter school. We don't want charter school. And then the teachers went and took a contract. They signed the contract to close schools and then to open up charter schools in the community. So when I saw the head of the union, I'm like, yo, you a traitor. You a lying son of a bitch. You know what that white man told me? He looked me right in the eye and said, we're not here, or I'm not here as a union rep to fight for you people in the community. I'm here to fight for my workers. He looked me right in the eye and said that. I couldn't even be mad with him. I'm like, I understand. I mean, so like the problem is us in the community, the people, the lumpen proletariat, us suffering. We have never organized ourselves. Let me go ahead so we can hurry up and get this over. I don't want to be here forever.
Yeah. It is just some bullshit. Some people may not come back. But let's hurry up and finish this up for this week. But if anybody got something to say, hey, yo, just put your hand up, put the little hand up, or try to cut in.
Hey D, go ahead. Was it Dariah Oliver?
Soraya, you have your hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, you could mute yourself and say what.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute myself.
No, you
Sorry,
good, you good, you good, you good. Go ahead. What's up?
It's Dario. You could call me D if you don't like pronouncing my name. Nobody can pronounce my name right. But I was just going to say about the unions, not every state has unions. So I grew up in New Jersey, but I live in North Carolina now. And this whole state is an at-will state. So while it's messed up what they're doing to the communities, when they take the unions away, that's a good way for them to keep poor people down. So, like the job I worked at, I was there for 6.5 years, and they decided to outsource the jobs to India, and they laid off 58 of us, and that was it. I got nothing.
No,
You know?
you got a lot.
So, yeah.
No, you got what you said. We're gonna go into it in a little bit. Economist Richard Wolf is going to explain that. But those people that sent those jobs overseas, yo, that's what we talking about organizing the community. Yo, we shouldn't have to be at their behest. We shouldn't have to
Yep.
be, yeah, we shouldn't have to be sitting here working to give them money and then they could just take the company and go overseas. And the people that make the company, that do all the work, they're suffering, they poor, they lose their homes. Ain't nobody got time for that. But go ahead, D. I don't want to chap up your name.
No, that's okay. And I've been unemployed since then. So
Mm.
I'm also disabled. So after COVID, when everybody decided they want to work remote, and now the government is like, "Oh, you're all lazy," but really all they want is to keep us in these buildings, and now they don't want to give me disability, they don't want to give me a remote job. So unions are good in some ways, but I agree, like when it comes to education, that's pretty messed up. And like those people are not voting and they don't have your interest in mind. So I get what you're saying about the teachers union, but like construction unions and stuff, that it needs to be like that. Otherwise they're just going to keep, give the jobs away to other people for cheaper prices. They got no security that way.
So I have a question about unions because I'm thinking unions are there to protect their workers and protect jobs. So with
Yes.
these unions, how do they? Well, I'm not going. You're not. I'm not asking you specifically. I'm just making a point. How is it that some of these unions that are supposed to be protecting workers and jobs allow these jobs to go overseas? And that's another issue I have with unions. Like because I used to be in unions. Like I pay all these dues, but yet the jobs go overseas. Or when I get into what I need the union to represent me with HR, they work more with HR than with me. Like it's like going to court. They trying to cut deals with HR instead of advocating for me. So like those are some of the issues I have with the unions. Like they don't save workers' jobs because when the company ready to move them overseas, the union can't do nothing about it. And I'm thinking that's your main goal, to keep the job here for the workers.
All
Yeah,
power.
you're not wrong. I've heard about that happening before too. That means that you paid union dues for nothing because they didn't protect you. That's wrong.
All power to the people. Nah, this is real life. And this is the kind of stuff that we're here to talk about. What do we do? Like even when you trust the union and then you find out that the union is working with them, that they have co-opted the unions. That's why we need to come to these meetings and talk and understand how we deal with all this, how we survive this reality that we find ourselves in.
Like me myself, I am the chairman of the party. It's saying right there that I have to prepare the people, like the people that are in the party, that are under me, for them to be ready to struggle for a minute, for a while. Because like we carrying the baton now. Your Malcolm X and them did it in their generation. They left it moving. UP Newton, Bobby Seale, George Jackson. You see, they passed the baton on. Now we got that baton. So what is our duty with that baton? Our duty is to build institutions instead of just talking, writing books, keep talking, going on Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we got it.
Yep.
Yeah, we got
At
it.
work, work we do and you know how I know, like this is something that let me know that you was for real, because it's like when you do it, I've seen you do the work. I've been working at the choir for over a year, bro. I've been seeing you way before anything that had it, before I was working on house, before house put me on. This is such and such, this Africa, that's what Africa is, Before we did all that shit, bro, I already paid attention. You feel me? This was already up my alley. I'm from New York. I'm from Brookdale Hospital. You feel me? I'm from Brownsville, literally. I think I was born in East New York. I'm from Brownsville. I'm from Brooklyn. So, yeah, but that shit, bro, that shit resonates with me so much because I don't got nobody I can go back to Brooklyn or New York to that talks on this level. Nobody, bro. Nobody. I had to leave New York, come to Jersey, get myself situated, adapt to Jersey, and then come in, be able to have this conversation with you right now. Oh, that's what's up, man. Yes, sir. That is why I got a minimum period of time.
Yo, go ahead. Somebody trying to say something? All right, let me continue.
United Panther Movement, which is a national organization that bring in all kinds of brothers and sisters interested in serving the oppressed people and prepares them for revolution. We want to spread the net as wide as possible in order to select from the best of the best. We think, Ezekiel, you trying to say something?
I was gonna say, don't forget Chairman Fred Hampton, like he paved the way to his legacy as well. Like he got it. But I was gonna say he like paved the way as well. A lot of people are still like influenced by Chairman Fred Hampton as well.
Nah, I'm standing. Nah, you're right. You're 100% correct. Oh, we have an actual. Did somebody say something? Okay, my bad.
Question?
Go ahead.
How do you feel about do you have a daughter?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old is she?
21.
Oh shit. My daughter's 6, so I'm over here, I'm scrambling in the mind. But how would you was your daughter ever able to do lip gloss, nails, and all of that shit like that at 6 years old? Let me ask you that question.
That's a conversation we're gonna have to talk about offline. You feel me?
Okay, that's personal. That's personal.
Yeah. No, that's personal. But like we gotta get through this Santa stuff. If people don't want to be here all night, you feel me?
I agree with it.
But listen though, check this out. Hey yo,
good thing, bro. Yo, you about to?
I'm cool with it.
But listen, while you muting yourself, listen to this though. Yo, whatever time during the day you want to talk, yo, I got 2 kids. You already been through this whole process. Yo, whatever time you want to talk, yo, hit my phone, yo. Like we here to talk, not just me. Everybody that's in the party. We got other people here. I mean, that's in the party that got children. Like that's what we here for. Now what you said?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. What you said? Did you say something? Who just say hello? Alexa, did you say something?
Yeah, somebody was saying something. I was like, it got real quiet. I said hello. Where everybody go?
Now we Hey, we right here, homie. We ain't going nowhere. We saw you want to say something?
No, I'm chilling.
Oh, okay, that's what's up. I mean, but be that as it may, rethinking old definitions. We have the task of redefining in actual social practice the very word brother and sister. The bourgeois, the rich. The bourgeois definition given to us by our parents must be erased from our consciousness. Bourgeois education and long usage define brother and sister as being based on biology alone. For the purpose of this discouraging unitary social practice by the exploited slaves, sharecroppers, and wage workers against the various ruling class forces. The primary determinant of brother and sister brings out of sociological and environmental processes we call struggle. And we say, so they say here, yo, when we do this work, yo, how we call you brother and sister is through a process that we're both working towards to get somewhere. You don't just call anybody just brother, just whatever, just because like they're in your family. Yo, I know everybody here heard it before. Like they're like blood is thicker than water. What was the saying? What's the saying over there? But what? What do we? But you need water to live, or something like that. I mean, but be that as it may, yo, you may be the same blood, but they hate you. Your own family. They
Right.
hide you. I mean, like,
That'd be the main one.
and it could be somebody that you meet on the street,
Right.
stranger, that will be ready to give you the shirt on their back. So that's your brother. That's what you have trust in. You don't have trust in somebody just because they're your blood sibling, whatever, just because they're your blood. You ain't got to be done through evidence, and that's what they're trying to say right here. Take, for example, a group of people who have ideology, values, culture, history, economic oppression, and colonialism in common. We all effed up. We suffering. And we got all of that in common. Based on this commonality, they organized themselves into a national liberation party demanding freedom. This party or formation will experience the air, like up and down, and flow of struggle, including suffering and joy. And out of the struggle for freedom, we forge new higher relations that will be emulated by other oppressed groups who will also become their brothers and sisters. Right now in Palestine, they got people out there in Palestine on Israel dropping bombs on them. Yo, you know what fascinates me out? Yo, these people like build tunnels under the ground because they understand you can deal with the social savvy. You can't set no deal with them. You can't make a deal with them shit or it's gonna go back on their deal. So they were brilliant enough to build homes, to be able to survive underground. And we should do that. Why are we not learning here, right here under the system? Well, every day you look on the TV or social media, they shooting people in the back, shooting them in the face. So the woman had the water. They told her to go get the water off the stove. She went to go get the water off the stove. She got shot in the face. Yo, if we're going through all of these things, yo, why haven't our leaders started to put plans together for us to survive? Because we think our leaders. And what I have learned from Palestine, from Washington all the way in North New Jersey, is real leaders have a contingency plan for their people. Because they know the enemy is coming. We're always at war. Our leaders have no contingency plan. You know what they tell us? They'll go vote. Go out there and go march. Put the speakers on and go walk up and down, begging the people the right laws to help. When they know that's not how this works. But the reason why they go out and tell our people to do it, because they get paid. They get paid to do that. They paid them to mislead us. This is the period where the very term brother and sister ring from every hall, institution, street corner, and house of the newly awakened nation and mean much more than the biological relationship of siblings. So when we all suffering together, like you're in Palestine, like they dropping those bombs on you. You know, the person that you're looking at next to you, they may not be your kid. But if both of you are able to survive, you're able to get to the tunnel, build them tunnels to survive, no, that's your brother. And that brother, that family was forged in the fire of struggle. It's going to be impossible to break that bond. If I don't consider you my brother or sister, who are you to me? If we are of the oppressed class, We ought to be brothers and sisters in spirit and in comrade in the struggle of liberation. So like everywhere you look, when they're about to shoot somebody, when they're stomping somebody out, when they're dragging somebody, everybody just looking, just watching. You think if that's my comrade, if that's somebody in my organization, and the police come over there to grab them, like I'm gonna just stand there looking, recording, you're gonna have to take me too. That is what it means to be a comrade. You don't stand there. Remember when you was little and your parents sent you to school and they said if something happened to your brother, you better be down there fighting with your brother? This is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. Passion love is the glue here. We have to exercise passion love. We can state this fundamental principle more clearly than Che Guevara when he said, what he said. What Che said about passion love? Che Guevara. At the risk of seeming ridiculous, let me say that the true revolutionary is guided by a great feeling of love. If we didn't love the people, we wouldn't come out there in the snow, in the cold. New Year's Eve, or was it Christmas Eve? It was snowing outside. We had a delivery come in. We went out there in the snow, we put that delivery together, and to go deliver it to people home. We didn't do that because somebody's gonna pay us. We understand as an organization that people out there hungry even on Christmas Eve. And if you love the people that much, you will go out there with a smile on your face to take the food to them. That's what we're about. We love the people that much. It is impossible to think of a genuine revolutionary lacking this quality. Ernesto Che Guevara. You know how Che Guevara died? Look at Che Guevara. You see him? I think he's from Argentina. But look at him. He came from a rich family. I mean, he was a doctor. He gave all of that up and he died. I think he died in South America trying to free. What country was he trying to free? I forgot. But he died over there trying to free some a country over there.
Bolivia.
You say where?
Bolivia.
He died in Bolivia. Thank you, Comrade Rodrigo. He died in Bolivia over there here in the jungle, out there trying to save those people, and they betrayed them. What? I'm talking about, when they talk about class suicide, he committed class suicide. He was a doctor. He didn't need to be no revolutionary. And this is after he had won. They defeated America, bro. Him and Castro. They defeated America in the Bay of Pigs. When you hear about JFK, all this stuff, they defeated them. They took that little island and they defeated the most powerful country at that time. That's love. That's love to sacrifice all of that, to sacrifice being rich, having money, because his family had money. To sacrifice all of that for the people. And even after you won, he's still going to Africa, he's going to all these different places to liberate them. So these are people I call heroes, bro. LeBron is my hero. Celebrities are not my hero. Entertainers are not my heroes. Revolutionaries are my heroes. These are the people I reach. These are the people I look up to. The people I want to be like. I want to be like Che. When you see me out there doing stuff for the community, I want to be like Che Guevara and Che being fresh. That's what I tell my son. These are the people I tell my son, my daughters to try to be like in life. I get all the emotional things about people like this. It is the abiding sentiment we must uphold with one another. Love should motivate and love should bind us together. Let love fill us and strengthen us. Richard Wolff, you might go into this video about Richard Wolff, and he's going to explain about capitalism real quick. But let me tell you who Richard Wolff is. Richard Wolff is an American Marxian economist. That's Marxism. Marxian economist known for his work on economic methodology and class analysis. He's a professor emeritus of economics at the University of Massachusetts Amherst and a visiting professor in the graduate program in international affairs of the New School, Yale University, 1966-67, Stanford University, 1964, Harvard University, host on WBAI and several other platforms. They're like the people that we bring here for you to listen to. These are the people that society has deemed are okay to listen to. This is not radical. He's not a radical. But when you listen to what he's saying the same thing we say.
capitalism is easily representative or represented in the following way of understanding what the process of production is. And because Marx is interested in human beings, and Marx is interested in how people relate to one another, because that's what he's concerned with, he's going to analyze what production, what happens in production, in terms of labor, this activity people give themselves through when they go to work, and how they relate to one another as they go about transforming nature into chairs and software programs and haircuts and everything. Okay? So we're going to start this way. Every act of production makes use of some kind of tools, equipment, raw material. Whatever. For example, let's use a chair as an example. If you're going to make a chair, you need some wood and some glue and maybe some nails and a hammer, and you get the idea. And all of those things that are used in production were made by human beings, labor. That's how it's available for us to use to make more things. Somebody did it a while ago to make the hammer, which I'm going to now use to make the chair. Somebody a while ago put together whatever needed to make the glue that I use, and they cut the trees into the lumber that I use. And so we're going to use a simple, embodied labor. Every production makes use of embodied labor. Labor that's embodied in some product that was done earlier that's now an input to what we're doing now. Basically simple idea. Here comes another simple idea. With this embodied labor embodied in all the tools, equipment, and raw material, production involves the addition of living labor, the worker. You, him, her, the people working. So we're going to call that living labor. Embodied labor plus living labor gives you the tooling labor in whatever we produce in an economy. With a numeral simple. Okay? You can say it in other words. There's the value of all the stuff we use up when we produce tools, equipment, and raw materials. And then there's the value added by the worker who uses those pieces of equipment to transform the raw material into the plant. So this is nail, glue, lumber. This is the chair maker's effort, and the outcome is the chair. Okay? This is very simple. What is capitalism about? By some process which we can talk about later, the embodied labor, the work done by working people in the past, becomes the private property of a few people. You know their names, they're called employers. They didn't make this stuff. Absolutely not. Somebody else did. Workers. But those workers didn't get to keep what they produced. They lost what they produced, and it became the property of somebody else. And that capitalist brings to the production process whatever it is he owns. Let's just say, let's make it simple, that it's worth 100. Doesn't matter what it is, just 100 of anything. So we know we're using up in making chairs 100 worth of hammers, nails, glue, lumber, all of it. And now the worker adds value to what he or she produces by transforming the lumber, nails, and glue into a new finished thing called a chair or a sofa or any other piece of housework. Okay, then let's just to make it real simple say it's another 100. And so the final chair is worth 200. I told you this would be easy. 100 plus 100 equals 200. Economists think this is an enormous achievement. You probably don't. You know, you think this thing. Okay? Now let's follow the logic as Marx did. This is what a capitalist does. He brings 100 of what he's come to acquire.
Now let me pause it here. Because when you hear about Marxism, and they talk about Karl Marx, most people don't understand what Marxism is. What he's explaining to you is what Karl Marx wrote books and studies about. We, the people, should keep the labor, the profit from our labor. It shouldn't go to nobody else. See, that's why capitalists hate them. Because capitalists want to keep the profit of what the people do. That's what communism, Marxism is. It's speaking about the economic process, how it works, who keeps what, and who don't get what. That's what Marxism is about. So whatever you hear them trying to say about this, about that, Marxism is explaining this concept that he's putting up here, and he's going to go into a little bit deeper.
It's really only do you got it or do you not have it? And if you have it, you can be the employer. And if you don't, you can. The fact that the employer who has it didn't produce it is a nagging problem we prefer not to have. But we'll come back to it. And you know you can't be an employer because you don't have it. You didn't get it. Somebody else did. So the capitalist brings his 100. But he uses that up. That's the tools and equipment used up. So that 100 shows up in the chair as half of the 200 that chair is worth. And we know that the chair is worth 200 because in addition to the 100 of heat used up, there was 100 more value added by the worker who worked to make the chair that's worth 200. Now, said Marx, and you're going to say it with me because you're going to understand it. Now Marx says, let's see. For the capitalist, he wants to get back what he laid out, the 100. He gave 100 to the production process. So when he sells the chair at 200, he's going to take 100 of it to replace the tools and equipment and raw materials used up in producing the chair. That's how we can keep on making the chair capitalist. That's how we can keep production going. He has to replace the tools, equipment, and raw materials he used up. Does he? Yeah, he does. I don't have the time to do stuff credit because we don't have enough time. Okay, let's see. So out of the 200 worth of chair, you need to take 100 to replace what you used up. That leaves you with 100 after you sell the chair. What are you going to do with the 100? You could, here we go now, so this is the crucial part. You could take the other 100 and you could give it to the worker. Because if the worker was the worker, the labor added the 100 of value to this stuff to make the 200. You could, couldn't you? And the logic would be, gee, the worker added the value, he or she, folks, should get it. Because he gave it.
And that's
He
Marxism.
created it. He made it happen. He should get it.
Marxism says we shouldn't give them shit. This employers, Marxism says we don't need them. Get them out of the way, and the people right here organize, and they put that $100 that they got towards buying a new tool to create a new chair. You don't need no billionaire, millionaire, nobody owning nothing. We do all the work, we keep all the profit. That's the difference between capitalism and Marxism. And of course, you know, capitalism is not going to agree with that. Because that means we don't need you no more capitalists.
You think that happens in capitalism? No, we don't. We don't give the worker the value added. Ever in capitalism. It's not how it works. You all know that. But I'm putting it kind of right up front and bold for you to view it. What is it that capitalists do? They divide that union into two parts. One part is what we always are working on. General, we're saying,
Peaceful, generous.
exactly. If you made a share of 200 and you use 100 to replace the 200 in one material you use up, and you use another 50 to pay the workers, that leaves what? 60. Good. I don't mean I'm a genius.
No, but what he's talking about right here, this is the root of everything. Because in reality, we don't get 50. We get like 10. We get like 5%. The people, the workers, get like 5%. And that 1%, the ones that control everything, they get everything else. They get like 95. That's like in actual reality how it works. I mean, that's why people catching hell out here. That's why people can't afford eggs, can't afford to eat, can't afford to survive, because it's not even distributed like this.
It's what the company is left over after he pays out to himself the hundred worth of tools, equipment, and raw materials he contributed that got used up. And he pays the workers. He's got to pay the workers because if he doesn't, they won't show up anymore. And the game is over. So to keep it going, he has to replace the tools and equipment, and he has to pay the workers. But he has to pay the workers with that close. Then the value added by the workers in New York. Or to use the technical term economists like, the revenue is workers' check. He has to steal from them all of what their labor added. You know what the lesson here is? For those of you who imagine that when you graduate from here, you will get a job. In fact, the only job you will accept is one that pays you what you're worth. Never going to happen.
Never.
The condition of your employment is that you produce more by your labor than you get paid.
Now, as we're born into this world, this is the reality that we fall into. And then we believe like we're gonna make what we're worth, what we're valued. Under capitalism, you never get what you're worth. You never get what you're valued. That's not how capitalism works. The capitalists must make a profit. And the only way they make a profit is by stealing from you.
Welcome to the capitalist system. That's how it works. You're stealing, that's profit. That's where the profit of enterprise comes from. The best way to describe your work in the capitalist enterprise is not that the employer gives you a job, it's that you give your employer the surplus. The giver and the getter are in reverse order from what the language suggests. You are doing wonderful things for your employer, and they will keep you in that job exactly as long as you can keep producing a surplus adequate to what they need. Okay? That's step one. Volume one of Capital lays all of that out. And for those of you who have never seen this before,
You say volume one of capital, that's Marx's book. Volume one of capital lays all of this out. So if you said, I want to go read Marx, I want to know what Marx is talking about. He just told you what the book is about. When you go read it, this is what you're going to learn about the suffrage, about who gets what. He's going to go on to explain what happens when the workers get upset and they're like, nah, man, we want more money because we work all these hours, we put in this work, we don't see our children, we're not home, all we do is work, so we need a bigger piece of the pie. He's going to go on to explain how the capitalists pick up the phone, they call the police, and the police come over there, and people try to hear you backstow them inside the car and drive them away. This is how the capitalist system works. That's what Richard Wolff, the lecturer from Harvard, from all these places, from all this supposed to be whatever. But this is what he's telling you. Not what Africa's saying. This is what he's saying. To be free from vampire capitalism requires that at some phase of socialist revolution, the vampire must be denied the blood of the people. To suck. Remember I told you we walked away from their institutions? We're denying them our blood. Here's how we define social revolution. The total breakup, social revolution, I told you was a change, something new coming. He said, here's how we define social revolution. The total breakup of the existing system of wage slavery. Because we're not in bondage slavery now. We're in wage slavery now. The political and economic structure of monopoly capitalism has no redeeming value worthy of preservation. No part of it can be used in the new school order we are striving to build. We can just get rid of every vestige of it overnight. We can't get rid of it overnight. Even after the monopoly capitalists are overthrown, aspect of the social organization of capitalism will linger on for quite a while, and we will have to struggle resolutely and consciously to root them out and replace them with new socialist relations. We're reading the Red Book, this book right here. We're reading the Red Book in our what you call it? I got the let's call it back out so you can see the book. But in our podcast that we do on Saturday, we all power to the people show, whatever. We're reading the Red Book, and in the Red Book, he's saying the same thing in the Red Book. He's saying we're at constant war. After you defeat the corporations, the capitalists, and all these people, they're still going to come at you. You have to stay vigilant, and you have to keep educating that institutional memory we're talking about. With the institution, you have to keep these things in the community, in the society. If you don't, the communists will come right back, the capitalists will come right back and take over. Yo, that's what Chairman Mao was saying. Chairman Mao was saying that in the 50s and 60s. And since he's been gone, since he died, we're in 2025. The capitalists now control China. China's not a communist nation. It is ran by capitalists. Wow, because they didn't listen to Chairman Mao. He didn't say vigilant. He broke. And now the whole China is ran by capitalists. We can't start halfway. The law that protects capitalist existence has lost its ability to be fair and impartial, and so it must face the trash heap with its nature. We can't hate white supremacist oppression, but love its national outflow, i.e. capitalism, which is born from the stolen resources and labor of the people of undeveloped nations. Capitalist law was instituted and put in place to repress ethnic and national oppressed groups and to protect capitalist property relations. And since 95% of property is in the hands of the few families in America, the law basically protects and serves 5%. Remember I said what's called a 5%? That's crazy. 5% of the people who make up the ruling class. New laws and a new constitution will have to be written and amended as we move forward. Laws that reflect and protect the new socialist relations, serve the growth of people's power, and prevent a return to the old ways of exploitation and injustice. As this is being written, the vampire ruling class is going through an international fight over economic markets and resources that were divided between individual white nations for imperialist exploitation. You know, we're thinking about Ukraine, they get into with Russia, they have the Middle East. All this, they had all this beef. They got the new economic block now. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on. Even in America, like the Republicans, Democrats, this two rich classes of people, they're fighting amongst each other. Look, everybody complaining about Trump and winning Trump this, Trump that. Hey, Trump is so ignorant, he's exposing the whole game. He's exposing the whole game. You see, that's why revolutionaries will be like, yo, we don't care, let Trump go in there. Because Trump is not as well. He's not as sophisticated as the Obama, as the Clinton. Trump is a savage. He's just gonna say what he's thinking instead of understanding to shut up, to not give up the game. He's gonna give up the game. So what he's doing now, he is exposing how they've been going around to all these countries talking about they're there for democracy, but they're actually there to overthrow the country. He's showing $500 billion that they've been stealing all this time. But what he doesn't understand, what he's doing is making people lose confidence in the system. And that's the most dangerous thing you can do. Because once people don't believe in those institutions and they walk away from them, the whole game is over. No longer do various white nations claim individual underdeveloped nations as their exclusive domain to exploit as colonies. But that has not changed the drive and set of former colonizers to impose privatization schemes micromanaged by the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the scramble to control these is sharp. China's and Africa now doing their thing. China's and Africa, they're going over there to colonizing the whole continent. Neocolonialism is a continuation of neocolonialism, is a continuation or reimposition of imperialist rule by state. So we in North New Jersey. The colonialism is like when you go to a different land And you go there and you basically control everything that they're doing there. You control their politics, you control their politicians, you control their corporations. You see, that's colonialism. Neo-colonialism is when you right here in North, and they're doing this to you right here in North. Right here, whatever town you in, wherever you're at, the town you're going in Florida, they've got that colonialism right here. They own everything. We own nothing. We have no power, no control of nothing. So when they did the Florida seas, a couple of 100 years ago, they brought it back right here. And it's all our community. What do you think this is? When they come in, like illegally, double people rent, throw people out their home, have state court, state judges, and when you go there, they try to jail, and they make you homeless. You take the jail because you don't want to pay 10, 20, 30,000 to some building owner because they illegally doubled your rent. If you go in there, the judge will like, yo, when you come, all you got to do is just leave within 60 days, 3 months, and everything is forgotten. So you just leave. I mean, because you don't want to deal with owing nobody 50, 80, 100,000. But after you leave, you're homeless now. You got to work on already said. Neo-colonialism takes form of economic imperialism, globalization, culture, imperialism, and conventional aid to influence or control a developing country instead of the previous colonial methods of direct military control or indirect political control. You know, they're talking about how they became the politicians. How they work to became the politicians. They give them campaign funding. They give them all this bread and up to pass policies and laws and enable them to take our home. So they don't pay us enough. You know, a single mother with a child, with one child, to survive, to be able to pay their bills and survive, they need to make $40 an hour. $40 an hour. One person, one single household, I think there's 2 kids. You need to make $40 an hour. You know, in New Jersey, what is it, $15 an hour? That's the minimum wage now. You can't even be poverty making $15 an hour. That's why people are struggling. So you thinking it's you. I gotta go get another job. You know, I gotta become a rapper. I gotta do all of this stuff. When there's people sitting back, I mean, construction ways to steal your bread. Neoliberalism is a term used to signify the political reappearance of the 19th century ideas associated with free market capitalism. I feel like that mixed up. I can't say colonialism. Yeah, I'm buzzing. Yo, but it's been a long day. We got back to the what you call it, for the advocacy program. But anyway, associated with free market capitalism, a prominent factor in the rise of conservative and libertarian organizations, political parties, and think tanks, and predominantly advocated by them. It is generally associated with policies of economic liberalization, including privatization. That's what he's talking about, the corporations. I mean, paying the politicians to privatize everything. I remember Cory Booker trying to privatize the water when he was here. I mean, it was a big thing when he was here. Like, it was a brawl that thing off. Deregulation, globalization, deregulation. In each policy, there was a what you call it? There was a train that derailed, and all this toxic stuff boom, toxic boom, all that stuff, all this kind of stuff. What?
East Palestine, Ohio, so people don't get confused.
Yeah, my bad. East Palestine, Ohio. There was a train derailment, and all this stuff went out into the atmosphere. Gave people cancer. I'm talking about right now. This is something old. It happened like 2 years ago under Biden, whatever. But the reason why it happened is they cut regulation. Deregulation. That means they cut it. The regulation was there, they put the D in front of it to cut it. And they cut the regulation and things like the train, all the different things, like they had the water in Flint. They had good water. I mean, they put the D in front of the regulation. They took their pipe and they put it into the water that was poison and stuff. So they had the regulations on the book. You can't do that. You can't take the pipe and go put it in the water and stop it treated that you don't know what's in the water. You can't do that. But these politicians allow these corporations to bribe them. And they went and took the pipe and put it in that water, and all those people in Flint started getting the poison water. That's what they explained to you right with neoliberalism. Globalization, free trade, monetarism, austerity. Austerity It's like where everybody catching hell. Instead of making the people that's been stealing all our money pay more, they tax up. You know, like in New York, when they say for you to drive into what you call it, to Manhattan, you got a special tax now. You got to pay the tax. That's austerity. When we go to the store to go buy food, they take the prices up. All of that is austerity. That's what they're doing to us in real time. And reduction in government spending in order to increase the role of the private sector in the economy and society. The defining features of neoliberalism in both thought and practice have been the subject of substantial scholarly debate. Not really, there ain't no debate. The International Monetary Fund, World Bank, and other banking and financial lending institutions have come up with a slick way of reimposing control over undeveloped nations by neo-colonial rules that consist of economic exploitation, economic aid, puppet government, and military assistance. Though the U.S. ruling class has emerged as a victor in this international fight, monopoly capitalists from all over Europe, Japan, and elsewhere are moving their capital overseas to markets with cheap labor. Remember I told you China and Africa, and no labor laws so they can make a huge profit on their investment, following the law of the maximization of rate of profit. We must oppose this by international solidarity and struggle, sowing the seeds of the world socialist revolution. And we must remember what V.R. Lenin said 100 years ago. What V.R. Lenin said? There can be no equality between exploiters. There's no equality. Who, for many generations, have stood out because of their education, conditions of wealthy life and habits, and they exploited, the majority of whom, even in the most advanced and most democratic bourgeois republics, are downtrodden, backward, ignorant, intimidated, and disunited. That's us, the richest country in the world. The richest country in the world. Are downtrodden, backward, ignorant, intimidated, and disunited. Like, that's us. That's us. I mean, until we organize ourselves, we can't beat these people. This is a video that we're supposed to watch. I don't know why it's not playing. Anyway, so-called leftist movement still haven't caught on to the statement from 100 years ago. That is a
About to be over. They can. They can.
Go back again. So-called leftist.
Come back. Hurry up and come back.
Still haven't caught on to that statement from 100 years ago. That is a telltale sign of class collaborationism that our party will expose. What do we mean by that? Sharpton, the mayor of North New Jersey, Rob Baraka, and all these clowns telling people, hey, yo, don't shop at Target. Go to Costco. Leave from one plantation to another plantation. And they're telling the people that's liberation. That's a fraud. And they're saying it right here. So-called leftists, they're supposed to be leftists. Movement still hasn't put on to that statement from 100 years ago. So if you don't know by now, you can Target, go to Costco.
I want to go to the screen in a second.
There's a problem. We have to build our party beyond national boundaries. So we can't be like, yo, we just a party like, yo, it's only us right here in New York. Nah, man, it's only black people. No, yo, everybody catching this air. We are not the only ones. I know it's like in our minds we've been brainwashed, black. Yo, but when you see the Spanish people coming here, yo, they're leaving their country because the politicians here in America are bombing their country, killing their people. That's why they're coming here. Now, those people come here, and you know what the politicians here do? They play those people against the people that's already here. So they give those people places for them to go stay. They give them hotels to go stay. So what you think the people that's homeless, that's losing their home, how do you think they're going to feel about that? So instead of those two people, the people coming together to work together to overthrow this imperialists, we go back and forth, so somebody will come get them. Ice, come get these people. As if ICE come get them, the minimum wage is gonna go up. Eggs gonna become cheaper. Gas gonna become cheaper. Ain't none of that is gonna change if ICE drag all these people out. And ICE ain't gonna do it. You know why they're not gonna do it? Because these corporations that fund the politicians need these people to come in to work at their jobs. So they have us fighting each other while they carry the bag and run. And this way we can help to unify the political consciousness of our people and coordinate our struggle against imperialist neo-colonial exploitation and racial discrimination of oppression. That's what they say. They say we can work together. If we start to understand that the same people are oppressing us from wherever,
And I'm saying that's enough.
to Nigeria, wherever. So long as we are oppressed and discriminated against as black people, there will be a need for a new African Black Panther Party and for Pantherism. Together with our oppressed brothers and sisters of all ethnic and national backgrounds, we must rise as a mighty storm of struggle to sweep away imperialism and all oppression. Whoa, that was sick, man. I think that's it, y'all. I think this week, y'all. Yeah, we done for the crease. Anybody got anything on that?
Talk to me. Anybody want to chime in? Anybody? Hold on, where the brother at? Is the brother still here? I went to his earlier. Where's he at? Nah, click on this. Let me see the brothers. Yo, was it Ebony? How you say that, man? I know I'm chopping it up.
Yes, that's Ebony.
Oh, that's Ebony. How you doing, Ebony?
Good. How are you tonight?
Outstanding. Anything you disagreed? Anything you want to say? You want to chime in?
I'm just listening and gathering what y'all trying to do and
All
just
power.
gathering information tonight. I appreciate it though.
All power to the people. Thank you. And
Thank you, sir.
yo, I don't know if the OG comrade want to say anything, but Robert Ward, you want to say anything?
Hey, all power to people, comrade. Thank you for inviting me. Unfortunately, I was barely able to hear you when you wasn't visible. It's like, I guess it's in person. And so I was grasping elements of it. I'm listening as much as I can, but I will continue to come. And I think as we build with one another as formations, it only makes us all stronger and we all learn from each other. So what I was able to hear simply just reinforces the knowledge that we must have as a people, and how, especially the part where I was able to hear in regards to talking about institution. One of the things we go over here in San Diego, we have what we call our mechanism structure. And our mechanism structure, the first core, which is abbreviation for kinetic operational resistance engagement. The first core we call the continuity core. The continuity core actually covers institution, infrastructure, and architecture. Those three pillars being what we need as a people in order to be in a position of being self-determined. And so that really resonated in terms of that. And I mean, the bottom line is we are not doing anything other than maintaining a domesticated lifestyle until we get to that point.
All power to the people. All power to the people. All power. And when you have in the political education class, let me know so I can pull up. Hey, Thomas Campbell, man, you had your camera on the whole time. I think you're the only one that had the camera on. Talk to me, Thomas. Word, you the only and I like that. I respect that. Because look, when we have these education classes, I want to cut these videos and I want to share them to show people like we having these conversations. So I would love for everybody camera to be on and stuff. But talk to me, Thomas Campbell. My first name Thomas too. Doubting Thomas, baby. Talk to me, Thomas.
Peace, Sharon. Peace, Sharon. It's my first day on the class. Peace. I just love what I'm hearing, man. Yeah, like I told you before, when I was on the audio before, I was organizing for the Hebrew Israelites for like 15 years.
Okay.
So I love being with people, and it's an honor just to be on the like-mindedness with a lot of men and women. And I just want to learn. I'm a good soldier. So I just want to learn, and I want to put my time in wherever you guys need. I was in Atlanta for a while, and I'm back up in Jersey. I love Jersey. I'm a Jersey guy,
Yeah.
and I love my people to the heart.
All
So
power to the
I want to put
people.
my brick in.
All power to the people. Hey, look, and like as Panthers, yo, it is our duty to cast that wide net to try to find people. Because most people, like, they're not beat to work for the people. So it's like it's our duty, like we're fishermen, like you know the Bible, fishermen of fishers of men, to go out and find people. Hey, yo, Thomas, real talk, I am so happy I found you. It's hard to find people that are interested in gaining this knowledge that want to do this work. So every single individual that I can find, yo, I am elated. I mean, yo, thank you for showing up. I mean, I hope we don't disappoint you there, comrade. But hey, yo, hey, Megabyte, what you got for me, Megabyte? Talk to me. You got your hand up.
Hey, what is up, Chairman? I'm Megabyte, by the way. Pleasure to meet all you folks. Um, I wanted to chime in and discuss, I guess, stressing the importance of, like growing in the same direction as other communities against the common oppressed. When we talk about this oppressive entity, you gotta keep in mind the institutional entities of capitalism and colonialism. They are old, they have deep, deep roots, they had an insane head start that we can't even comprehend. They've been pulling levers that influence the flow of society for hundreds of years. So when we talk about building an institution to compete with an entity like that, that is really hard to do on your own. That
Yes.
takes support. That is not something one geographically bound group can do. You are not going to be able to open the precious metal resource mines to build ammunitions to go fight that entity in a military capacity, that's for sure. And they can send 3,000 ICE agents to your city. And as much as we can, muster up some public support by, getting some publicity from a few, chapters showing the fact that Panthers exist again, at the end of the day, our 10 semi-trained individual is going to stand up to 3,000 ICE agents and actually stop them if Donald Trump decides to steamroll your neighborhood. If the it wouldn't be the first time that the government literally dropped a bomb on an entire neighborhood. These aren't myths. This isn't conspiracy theory discussion. This isn't uh we are at a point in history where these discussions are no longer like a social club, an idealistic discussion to form our opinions of how we think that the world works and how things operate. We are at a crucial moment in history where we are watching masked paramilitary forces endorsed by the federal government go door to door, kidnapping US citizens and then disappearing them.
Mm, mm,
This is real. This is a major oppressive enemy. And there is no chapter that I'm a white kid from rural Michigan, so I'm not going to claim ownership over being a Panther. I did go through this educational course already. I have not done anything for the community to take any ownership over being a Panther. I'm new and I intend to. But it is deeply, deeply important to understand the seriousness of the times that we are in, the desperation that the future of humanity needs people like us who are socially conscious and awake, who stop squabbling, work together. Like we can be separate. We can have different ideals. We can disagree about fundamentals. We can disagree about what being a real OG Panther and endorsed Panther means. At the end of the day, we need to be allied
mm.
against the common enemy and not kind of making asses of ourselves by publicly disagreeing about who's legit and not all over the place. We need unity. We need to show solidarity and strength somehow. And we can't do that on our own. We can only do that through unity. We don't need to agree on everything to publicly and unified, unitedly acknowledge we're all in the fight together going in the same direction. We'll work out the specifics as we go. The point is that we're in it together against them.
All power
And
to the
that's what
people.
we need. All
Go ahead.
power to the people.
Go ahead. You got something else? I don't want to cut you off.
I got it out. Thanks.
Hey yo, I want to I'm trying to find something here that Huey P. Newton said. I mean, but you know what? I don't even need to do that right now. Well, I did find it. But let me see. Let me see right real quick. Hey, Elijah, what's up, Elijah? Talk to me, Elijah. Where you at? How you doing, Elijah?
Hey, what's going on, Chairman?
Outstanding. Everything good?
Yeah, no, it was great. Very excited. Obviously, this is my first week here. Can't wait for the next 12. I do want to just second what the one brother said. So when you're actually teaching, it's extremely difficult to hear you, the audio. But I definitely enjoyed the institutions. I still look forward to speaking with you about an idea that I have about building an institution. But all power to the people. I'm just here to grow and try to be an asset to you guys.
All power to the people. Hey, yo, I'm gonna fix that audio. I'm gonna make sure it ain't like that next week. Yo, thanks everybody for telling me. Yo, real talk, cause that's important, cause I really don't know what's going on. But like, I'm gonna do my best to fix it next week. But this is something from UEP Newton. Hey, look, yo, you can't just wake up one day and just say like you know how to change everything. Yo, we want to change the conditions we're living under. Yo, we got to go back and listen to our luminaries, the people that really struggle. And when we talk about the Panthers, these were not just people that just got up and just were reactionaries. Yo, UEP Newton was a doctor. Bobby Seale, all these people were professional people. They went to school. They studied. Yo, listen to what Huey said. In 1966, we called our party a black nationalist party. We called ourselves black nationalists because we thought that nationhood was the answer. Shortly after that, we decided that what was really needed was revolutionary nationalism. That is, nationalism plus socialism. After analyzing conditions a little more, we found that it was impractical and even contradictory. Therefore, we went to a higher level of consciousness. We saw that in order to be free, we had to crush the ruling circle, and therefore we had to unite with the people of the world. Like when I say we unite with the people of the world, I'm not saying it because Africa feel that way. Yo, I studied UEP. Yo, I listen to George Jackson. I read their work and I go through it. So I'm thinking, I'm like, so what do you mean by that? So first they called themselves black nationalists because it was all about just black, 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 black. Then he said, like, yo, the circumstances change. I start to look around my community. It's not only black people catching hell. Everybody in my community, Puerto Ricans said they catching hell. All these people catching hell. So I can't just say like, yo, I'm gonna fight these people alone. Yo, you know what? Yo, let's change it to something else. And what I want to say about that, yo, everybody think they so smart, they know everything. You can't tell nobody nothing. They don't sit down and be sincere enough to try to go back and try to reflect on what they know, what they were told as a kid, and try to change. Yo, that shit take courage. It takes courage to be able to say, like, yo, I'm wrong. Shit, I gotta go back and go look at that shit again. And yo, and Huey P. Newton is telling you, he's humbling himself to tell you, like, yeah, we was wrong, man. Yo, these are the people that I follow. I follow UEP Newton. I follow his teachers. I follow the teachers of Fred Hampton. I mean, if anybody say like, yo, Africa, like you wrong, whatever, you come and prove to me how Fred Hampton, how UEP was wrong, how George Jackson was wrong. Hey, yo, George Jackson said in Blood in My Eyes, the as soon as a person passes the civil exam test, like I know they can kill me. What he was basically saying is when you work for the government, as soon as you start to work for the government, the imperialist government, yo, you got to start watching that person because they serve imperialism. They will do whatever they need to do to keep their job. Yo, try to get somebody from City Hall, one of these politicians to quit their jobs. Somebody from the post office. They don't want to hear that shit. This is how they pay their bills. This is how they have masculinity, how they're able to get a woman. So when you start talking, they don't want to hear that. And we have to accept that. I'm not saying like all the people that work for the government, that work in school, all these people are bad people. But you got to realize the master they serve. You got to realize the master they serve. And it takes courage for you to be able to be like, you know what, I was wrong. Because we all grew up black nationalists. We all grew up something else. All of us, we grew up learning what this society wanted us to know. I don't know everybody's story here when they decided like, man, these people been lying to me. But every single one of us here, at some point in your life, you was like, yo, this motherfuckers is lying. And then you had the courage. You had the courage to go past that wall and try to learn the truth. Yo, those are the people that we want around us. Those are the people we want as Panthers around us. People that are courageous enough to tell themselves the truth. Everybody lie to themselves, man. I don't lie to myself. I keep it a buck. I'm not a professor. I didn't go to school to teach and all of this goofy stuff. Yo, I'm doing this because it needs to be done. I'm not the greatest teacher in the world. I mean, I don't know how to do this computer stuff. Y'all just told me the shit low as hell. I got to go back and go fix that shit. I ain't try to say like, nah, maybe your computer low. That's some crazy shit. I got to go and fix it. I got to learn how to do this. But I'm so happy everybody came. Everybody that came, yo, I'm happy y'all came. And today, you know what? We'll talk about that next week. But everybody, good night, man. All power to the people. Y'all have a good night. Yo, I'm happy y'all came, yo. I'm happy y'all came. Yo, and some people calling from San Diego. Robert Walk hitting us from San Diego. I know it's probably hella late over here. I know all of y'all probably around somewhere in the country is late. What time is it in North Carolina, yo? D, Sister D, what time is it over there?
It's the same time here, bro.
Oh, it's the same time?
Yeah, it's 9 p.m.
Oh, you good then. Robert, what time is it, Robert?
Hey man, I'm on the opposite coast, bro. It's 6 o'clock. I ain't too long left the plantation.
Oh, you on 6 o'clock? All right, well, hey, yo, till next Wednesday, all power to the people. On Sunday, we got the podcast. You can always tune in. But
also, February 1st, if you guys are in the area, Aaron Dixon will be here at the Source of Knowledge Bookstore, 867 Broad Street, February 1st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also, Chairman Paul Birdsong. Yes, the one that everybody's talking about. He will be there too.
And he came here today. He came here today. He came to North today. There was a rally because they killed another black man on Monday, Martin Luther King Day. They killed another black man. So Paul came all the way out here to North because the family had a rally. He came out here and he's gonna be here on the 1st, and we're gonna be talking to Aaron. We're gonna try to sell all his books. Yo, we gotta try to start helping this original Panthers, man. All these people that gave their life, because there's no social security for this. There's no social security for working for the people. So whatever books he bring down, we're going to try to buy all them books and try to make his time here as pleasurable as possible. And then the next person we bring, I don't know. I just met Rob, but Robert, if you got a book, we're going to fly you in. We're going to let the people hear what you got to say. Yo, that's what we're here to do, man. Teach the people what Pantherism is and try to bring them in so we could start to build institutions to liberate ourselves. But till next time, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people.
Real quick before you sign off, so Aaron Dixon, I saw that it was going to be live streamed. I've seen no information about the live stream.
We're
So I'm
gonna
asking about is there a link? Is that something you need help making sure
Yes, we need
I
help.
think this is an event with the attention that Panthers are getting. This is an event that I think you got to make it look good. You know, like I think this is something you can draw a lot of digital
with the
attention
live
to.
stream.
Megabyte, you need to come help with the live stream, Megabyte.
I'm gonna call you, Megabyte. I'm gonna need you to help us with the live stream.
You muted, Thomas. You trying to say something?
You heard me?
Hold up, Thomas.
Absolutely. Let's talk tomorrow.
All righty.
You muted, Thomas. Thomas Campbell. You muted, Thomas. But anyway, he on something else. All right, all power to the people. I live for the people. I die for the people.
All power